Hello everyone and welcome to another PHP tutorial. And as you see, I'm in the RegsterNext.php file, and if you guessed that you are going to code some more on RegsterNext.php, well, then you're correct. Well, what we got right here is that we're testing for if the username and password is alphanumeric. If it isn't, kill the process and print it on screen. Username and password can only contain letters and numbers, but we haven't told it what to do if it is. Well, what we're going to do right now is to test if the username you entered already has been created in the password. So you create a variable called name collision, and we're going to set that equal to select multiplier from users where username equal to post username. And well, this is it's very important that you capitalize select and from and where, and also remember the two single quotation marks around that post thing, and also remember the multiply star. Well, what we got right here is something called a query in PHP, and so we got a query called name collision, and I know it's only a variable, but we're going to transfer it into a query in a second. And what this query will do is that it will select, which is a MySQL keyword. This multiply star means all, so select all from the table users. So it's very important that if you named the table something else than users, well, then put that there. And so we say select all from the table users where username, so it's very important that you have a field called username in the table users. So saying select all the data from the table users where the username field is equal to post username, which means that select all the data in the users table where the username field is equal to the username posted to us. So now we're going to do the same thing with email to check for if the email already have been used up. So say email collision. Select all from users where email equals $ post square bracket username, no, sorry, not username, email. Okay, so the email question actually does the same thing. It just checks for different variables. Well, it will select all the data from the table users where the field email is equal to the email posted to us. So now it's time to transfer it into a query. So now you say name result equals MySQL underscore query, and in the parameter you put name collision. And so what we got right here is that we create a variable called name result, and that variable will use a built-in function called MySQL query, and what that will do is that it will perform an action. And the argument it takes is, the action you want it to execute. So say that name result will do the action name collision, and name collision will select all the data from the table users where username is equal to the username you typed in. So that's what we'll do. Now you create another variable called email result, and that is also equal to MySQL query, and we want to perform email collision. And again, so we got a variable called email result, and this variable will do everything that email collision is told to. So email result will select all the data from the table users where email is equal to the email you typed in. But this is not all enough to check for if it is already existing. So say name rows equal to MySQL num rows, and this is another built-in function, and in the parameters or as an argument you put name result. Okay, so we got a new variable that is set equal to MySQL num rows, and MySQL num rows is another built-in MySQL function that will get the number of rows of a certain item, and what you put in the as the argument is that's the data you want to check for. So we got a variable called name rows, and that will get the number of rows in it will get the number of rows that has the data email posted. Let me try and explain this again. What this will do is that this variable name rows will get the number of rows in the name result, and name result is equal to this data right here. So it will check for if there is any rows with this data. It'll check for if there is any username that is equal to the username we typed in the table users. That's what it does. And also put email rows and set that equal to MySQL num rows and email result. And that does the same thing as name rows, and I can't explain this one more time because that'll take too long time. YouTube won't give you 10 minutes. So we're going to create one more thing before I finish off this tutorial. We say if name rows is equal to 0 and email rows is equal to 0, do this, which we'll do in the next tutorial. Else die email or username is already in use. So the name rows and email rows will get the number of rows with the information of email result and name result. So if you say that if there is 0 rows, if there's nothing inside the table with the information we typed in, do something, and that's what we'll do in the next tutorial. Else means that if there is either more than if there is 1 row or more with a name or email, it'll say email or username is already in use and kill the process. So we're actually checking for, okay, is there any row with the information we typed in? If there is, kill the process and type email or username is already in use. So this is all you get for this tutorial, and I'll see you in my next tutorial.